Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll start with our. Okay, so in industrial automation, unit number two, we are in the last topic of unit number two, that is the blocks that we have used in generalized instrumentation system, or we can say single channel DAS, data acquisition system, and multi channel DAS, data acquisition systems, where ADC and DAC that plays very important role. So probably you have studied ADC and DAC in your SYs or FYs. Still, we have to again see or overview what is ADC and what is DAC. So basically, the name suggests that the ADC is a circuit, or we can say a converter, that used to change the analog signal into digital. That's why it is called as ADC. And DAC, exactly opposite to it, it will convert digital signals into analog data. So this converters nowadays is available in the form of integrated circuit, or we can say ICs. So that's why the ADCs we have in our embedded systems. We have ADC 0808. So that is the IC form of ADC. In microcontrollers, in microprocessors, or we can say they are available inside it, the ADC block. So this converter can be expressed as like A oblique D, ADC, A to D. The inverse function of DAC is nothing but ADC. So variety of applications of ADCs are there. We can use it for measurement. We can use ADC for the control systems in industrial instrumentations, in the lab instrumentation where the measurement is to be taken, in communication systems, and all other sensory circuits or systems where we require to convert analog data into digital. Classification of these ADCs depends on many factors like how it performs, the bit rate of it means how faster it is, the power, how much power it is taking to convert analog to digital, and finally the cost of it. The main feature of ADCs are sample rate and bit resolution. So what is the sample rate? Sample rate of ADC is nothing but how fast an ADC can convert the signal from analog to digital. This is the sample rate, or we can say sampling rate. So how fast it is going to convert analog data into digital? It is given by Nyquist criteria, where it tells us what should be the sampling rate of an ADC. Suppose if we have a frequency f, then what should be the sampling rate? So it should be twice this frequency. So 2f will be the sampling rate. Still, we'll get some errors. So that's why we should have 10 times faster than the input frequency. That should be the sampling rate to have a perfect analog to digital converter. The second important feature of ADC is the bit resolution. So it is nothing but how much accurately it can be analog to digital converter, or it can convert the signal from analog to digital. So that is nothing but a bit resolution. So that is depending upon a small bit is approximately equal to that much of analog voltage. One of the major benefit of ADC converter is the high data acquisition rate, even at multiplexed input. So we have seen the multiplexed input data. So where we need to have DAC, so many channels are there that should be multiplexed and that should be given to ADC. And finally, we'll have output for our general purpose. So the wide variety of ADC integrated circuits, data acquisition from various sensor becomes more accurate and faster. Dynamic characteristic of high performance ADCs are improved. Its measurement repeatability, its low power consumption, precise measurement, it is highly linear, and it has highly, or we say excellent, signal to noise ratio. So the noise is suppressed and the signal is converted into digital form. This is the block diagram of analog to digital converter. It has four blocks mainly. What is it? The analog signal, it should be converted into digital signal, where it should first given to the sample. What the sample will do, it will sample the data. So the input was continuous in time and continuous in amplitude. So sampling make it discrete in time and continuous in amplitude. Then it is given to the hold. Hold will hold the data, or we can say hold the real-time data. So it will convert discrete in time and continuous in amplitude, but with a holding. It will give to the quantization, or we can say quantize. So after the quantize, we'll have discrete in time and discrete in amplitude. And finally, it should be converted into digital by using a encoder circuit. So encoder circuit will convert the quantized data into digital signal, or we can say binary form. So the final signal will be discrete in time and amplitude, and it has a binary form. So in case of this block diagram, as I've said that the first block is sample. So what is in the sample block? The analog signal can be sampled at an exact interval of time. So it should be depend on how much fast the ADC is. So that should be the sampling rate. So these samples are in continuous amplitude and hold real values. However, they are discrete with respect to time. While converting the signal, the sampling frequency plays an essential or important role. So to maintain a precise rate based on the system, the sampling rate can be fixed. So if suppose the ADC is very much faster, our sampling rate will be higher. If the ADC is very much sluggish or slow, the sampling rate will be slow. So depending upon the input frequency as well as how fast the ADC is, we can decide the sampling. The next part is hold. So after the sampling the data, there should be some kind of block that should take the input from the sampling, and it should hold there unless and until the ADC conversion is done. So this hold, it's simply holding the data till the next sample is taken. So the values of hold doesn't change until the next sample is there. The next part or next block in A2D is a quantize. So in ADC, this is the third block that is also called as a quantization. So what is the quantization? Quantization means it will convert the amplitude from continuous into discrete state. The value of continuous amplitude within hold block moves throughout quantized block to turn into discrete in amplitude. So finally we have the signal which is discrete in time and discrete in amplitude. Now the signal is in the digital form, but still it is in the digital form like zeros and ones. It is not like a binary form. So what we should do, we should give the input of this output of this quantize to encoder. So the final block in ADC is an encoder. So that will convert the signal from digital form to binary form. So this device work using binary signals only. So it is required to have an input from the quantization as the binary input, and it will take that binary pulses and convert them into a binary form, or we can say a binary number. So this entire method is used to change the analog data into digital one. So the time taken for this entire conversion is in microseconds. So we can say that the conversion time is in microseconds. So according to which we have to give input to the sampling rate so that the sample should be there and holding should be there. There are several type of ADCs are available depending upon their performance, depending upon their speed. So very few name of them is a dual slope A to D converter, flash A to D, SAR, semi-flash, sigma delta, pipeline ADC, and so on. We'll see one of few of them. Here is a dual slope A to D converter. Single slope A to D converter is also there. We'll skip that part. We'll come towards the dual slope A to D converter. So why it is called as a dual slope? Because this particular analog to digital converter has integrator socket. So that integrator socket will convert the input data into rectangular waves. So these rectangular waves having a slopes. So that's why it is called as a slope A to D converter. And this rectangular has positive as well as negative slope. That's why it is called as a dual slope A to D converter. So these rectangular waves are given to the counter through the control logic, and this counter counts these pulses. This counting of pulses done with the comparison between V in and V reference. And finally, when the counting is done, it gives to the clock output buffer and will have the digital outputs from that clock output buffer. So this is the type of ADC where the comparison of voltages is done with V in and V reference. So this comparison is generating, or this comparison of the voltage is done in an integrator. So this integrator, which having a resistors and capacitors and operational amplifier combinations, will generate a sawtooth waveform, or we can say a triangular waveform, depending upon the comparison of V in and V reference. So it will start from 0 and it will end its waveform on V reference. When the integrator waveform is started correspondingly, the counter start counting from 0 to 2 raised to n minus 1. So where n is the number of bits of ADC. When the input voltage V in equal to the voltage of the waveform, then the control circuit captures the counter value, which is the digital value corresponding to analog input value. So this is called as a dual slope ADC. This particular dual slope ADC is relatively medium cost, means the cost is medium, not higher, not cheap, and it is a low speed device because the integrator always takes time to convert the pulses, input pulses into sawtooth waveforms. Then it is given to the operational amplifiers, finally to the control logic. Control logic gives that to the counter, that clock pulses to the counter. Counter will start counting from again 0 towards the 2 raised to n minus 1. So whenever the V in equal to the voltage of the waveform, it will stop and it will give to the clock output buffer, and finally we'll have a digital output. Why it is called as a slow speed? Because integrator takes a time. Counter is counting again and again from 0 towards the end. So that's why it is a low speed device. It is generally not preferred. Another type of ADC is called a flash ADC. Might in SY level you have studied the experiment A to D converter, that is flash type. What is in this converter? So this converter has operational amplifier as comparators. So these comparators compares the input voltage with the reference voltage. So depending upon the number of bit, the total number of operational amplifiers will be there. So if it is, we can say here there are only 4 operational amplifier as a comparator is there, we can say this is a 2-bit ADC. It will start from 0 to 0, then 0 1 1 0, and finally 1 1. This is most widely used efficient ADC in terms of its speed. The speed of this ADC is very much higher. What is it? It consists of series of comparators where Each one compare the input signal with the unique reference voltage. So the reference voltage is divided by using voltage divider arrangement so that the comparator has a reference comparison value. So at each comparator, the output will be high when the analog input voltage exceeds the reference voltage. So this output is further given to the last stage, that is called as a priority encoder. So this priority encoder will convert all this input data into a digital output, or we can say a binary form. This flash type of ADC is having a higher cost because the operational amplifiers are there. If we increase the number of bits, the number of comparators will be increased. That will lead to increase in the cost. But it is a high-speed device. At an instant, it is converting the analog input data into binary form. So that's why it is called as a flash ADC. The another important ADC is called as a successive approximation ADC. This particular ADC is also called as SAR, successive approximation resistor A to D converter. So this SAR ADC is widely used because of it doesn't require any cost increase if the number of bit is increased. Just to increase the successive approximation register size and DAC size. So the cost is not increasing with the number of bits are increasing. The speed is high. So that's why it is preferred over the flash ADC. This particular SAR ADC is available inside the architecture of microcontroller and microprocessor, where we need to convert analog data into digital form. So what it contains? It contains a Federal block where it has digital to analog converter itself, DAC. It has comparator. It has control logic and SAR register. The analog input is fed to the comparator. It compare it with the past output, that is called DAC. That's why it is faster. So it is most modern ADC IC, much faster than the dual slope and flash, since it uses a digital logic that converts the analog voltage to the closest value. It is not like a dual slope going from 0 to again 2 raised to n minus 1. So it will compare the last state with the analog input. So that's why the speed is very, very fast. This circuit consists of a comparator. It has the output latches where the output will be stored. It has SAR, successive approximation register. It will store the values, and it has a D to A converter. So it will convert digital data into analog for comparison purpose. So if we start with this SAR, so at start the SAR is reset, means it is actually low, a 0. When low to high transition is introduced, the MSB of the SAR is set. So whenever we say start the ADC, the SAR registers MSB bit is set to high. This is given to the D to A converter. The high bit is 1, rest of the bit are 0, means we can say if it is 8 bit, the MSB bit will be 1 and rest of the bit will be 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So the final it will be 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So it is half of the 8 bit, that is 256. It is called 125 digitally. Means if it is 5 volt, it will be a 2.5 volt. So it is given to the comparator and it will going to compare with the analog input data. So suppose analog input data is greater than 2.5, what will happen? The comparator's output will be high. If it is less, the comparator's output will be low and it will tell us to go down. So if the comparator output is low, then MSB will be clear, means the 8th position it was high, it will be cleared, and it will set the 7th position. So it will again divide it by 2, it becomes 125 divided by 2, it becomes a 62 point something. Again, this particular value is converted into analog and it is compared with the analog input. If it is high, again, if the analog input is high, output of the comparator will be 1. If the analog input is low, comparator output will be low, and it is again going to set the next MSB to 1. So in this way, the approximation is taken place each and every time. So if this process is continuous till all the bits are tried, and after Q0, the SAR makes the parallel output line that contain a valid data. So it will compare a bit by bit from highest bit to lowest bit, and it will place as high whenever that analog input is higher than that. It is placed as 0 when the analog input is lower than that. So finally, for 8 bit, the 8 cycle gives us the result. So this is the way SAR ADC work. The applications of ADCs are there. We can use in case of AC, air conditioner. That includes temperature sensors to maintain the temperature within the room. So the conversion of temperature can be done from analog to digital with the help of ADC, and this is fed to the control circuitry so that it will take the action accordingly. It also used in digital oscilloscope to convert the signal from analog to digital so that the display it shows the digital data. In mobile phones, it converts analog voice into digital because the mobile phone is a digital device. It will actually work on the digital data. So voice, that is our signal, is analog, so we have to convert them into digital before sending the signal towards the transmitter of the cell phone. Again, in medical devices like MRI, X-ray, to convert images from analog to digital after alteration. Camera in the mobile mainly used for capturing the images as well as videos. These are stored in the digital devices, so there is a need for conversion to digital form. The cassette music can also be changed into digital like CDs and thumb drives using of ADC. So at present, the ADC is in every device because almost all devices available in the market are in the digital version. So these devices are used as ADC. So the ADC is everywhere wherever there is a digital processing. The next part is DAC, digital to analog converter. So commonly there are only two methods to convert digital data into analog. Names of these methods are weighted register method and R2R ladder method, or we can say R2R ladder network method. This is DAC, weighted register method. You can see here the schematic of D2A converter using weighted register. You can see from that particular operation amplifier, it just summing amplifier. So this amplifier takes the current from the input side and it will convert them into a voltage at the output using the summing amplifier's derivation. So you can see for each bit there is a resistor. So starting from bit 3, resistor R is there. For bit 2, resistor R 2R is there. The resistor is like twice that of the first. Third, bit 1, the 4 times R is there. Bit 0, 8 times R is there. So the weight of the resistor is increasing, means it is doubled at every bit. If we have 8 bit DAC, what will happen? So it will goes to us 16R, 32R, 64R, 128R. So if we increase the DAC's bit, if it is 10 bit, it will go to 1024R and so on. So the drawback of this particular weighted register method is that if the DAC's bit are increased, we have to double the size of register. But in market, the registers available are in the standard format. Like a 4.7K register is there. We don't have double of that. If we find the double of that, we cannot have the 4 times of that. We cannot have 8 times of that, and so on. So what we can do, we have to do the adjustment by using a series and parallel combination of register. That makes the circuit a little complex. Because of the tolerances of that will be added into here, and the result will be not the standard one. The basic operation of DAC is the ability to add inputs that will ultimately corresponding to the contribution of various bits of the digital inputs. If we talk about it is the circuit, it is in the voltage domain. So if the input signals are voltages, the addition of the binary bits can be achieved using the inverting summing amplifier. So here the inverting summing amplifier is there, which has a feedback resistor called RO, and there are resistors R for B3, 2R for B2, 4R for B1, and so on. So the input resistor of the op amp have their resistance value weighted in the binary format. So when receiving binary 1, the switch connect the resistor to reference voltage. So if we have V0 is equal to 1, so it will connect to the minus V reference. If it is V0 is equal to 0, it should be connected to ground, and so on. So when the logic circuit received binary 0, the switches connect the resistor to ground. All the digital inputs are simultaneously applied to the DAC. So in this way, the digital data is fed to B0, B1, B2, B3, and the current start flowing from 8R, 4R, 2R, and R. It is get added together in the summing amplifier to have the final sum. So DAC at the output, it will generate analog output corresponding to the given digital data signal. Suppose we can say the digital signals B3, B2, B1, B0, each bit will have a binary 0 value or binary 1 value. I've already said binary 1 value connected means it is connected to the some sort of V reference. So the output voltage that will be produced across this particular operational amplifier will be R0 divided by R inside bracket B3. So B3 has only 1 R, so there is no need to add anything, plus B2 divided by 2 because there is 2R in case of B2, plus B1 divided by 4 plus B0 divided by 8 into V reference. So if we put the values of R0, R, V reference, and any of the B0, B1, B2, B3 if it is connected to 1. Finally, we'll have the output voltage corresponding to this equation. So this equation tell us how the DAC is working. So if we increase the number of bits in the digital input voltage, the range of the resistor values becomes larger and larger and larger. So accordingly, the accuracy, it will become poor. That's why this DAC is not preferred when we are having number of bits that are higher one. In case of R2R, this is most preferred DAC. Again, this is a 4-bit DAC using R2R ladder circuit. In case of R2R, what we have is resistance 2R that is connected to the bit, and in between resistance 2R and the next resistor 2R where B1 is connected, there is a resistance called R. So what it will do, you can see here, if the resistor B0 is connected or the bit B0 is connected to ground, what will happen? This branch, the 2R and this 2R connected to ground, they becomes parallel to each other. So if we found out the equivalent resistance of the parallel equivalent socket, so 2R parallel with 2R, we will get only a single R. So this single R is in series with this R, makes 2R. Again, this 2R will be parallel with the 2R if B1 is connected to ground. So this 2R and this 2R will make parallel becomes R. Again in the next R it becomes a 2R. Again with parallel 2R becomes a R. R plus R becomes 2R, and in parallel it becomes R. So in this way, the branches that are connected to ground will make no current that is flowing into the socket, and finally whichever the bit is connected to VCC, or we can say V reference, that will generate the voltage accordingly. So this R to R ladder DAC is constructed as a binary weighted DAC, but they are having only R and 2R as like weighted binary. Their resistance, they are double. At each bit they are doubling their values. But in case of this, they are having only resistors R and 2R. So in the market we can have the values of R and the 2R value. If we increase the number of bits, what will happen? There is no need to fear about the resistance value, because though we are increasing the number of bits, the resistors will be R and 2R. So this will improve the precision due to the ease of producing equal valued match resistor. So means we'll have a current or current source that will be same. So now if here is an example, when B3 is equal to 1, B2, B1, B0, they are all 0. So you can see here the B3 is connected to 1, means it is connected to V reference, while the other B2, B1, B0, they are 0. So I have said that if the B0 is 0, this 2R and this 2R, they are in parallel with each other because they both are connected to ground. It makes a simple R. Equivalent of 2R parallel 2R becomes R. This R will be in series with this R, makes 2R. Again parallel with 2R makes a simple R. R plus R 2R makes with parallel 2R makes some simple R. So it becomes a 2R. So you can see if the B3 is there, means B3 has minus V reference value. What we will have? We have a 2R, and that is connected to ground. So this 2R, this 2R, this 3R and this 2R will makes the output voltage V0. So how it will going to make? So you can see that by simplifying with the current relationship, you can find out that V0 is equal to 3R inside bracket I3 divided by 2. So this will be the voltage available across this particular V0, and that is nothing but it is equal to V reference divided by 2. So V reference, what is V reference? If it's V reference is equal to 5 volt, the V0 will be divided by 2, means a 2.5 volt. So for B3 equal to 1, the output is equal to 2.5 volt. In another case, we can see if B2 is equal to 1, what will happen? B3, B1, B0, they are if equal to 0, what will happen? Only the branches which is connected to VCC, or we can say V reference, that will be there. The other branches will be connected to ground. But the B1 and B0 branches connected to ground, they simply make an equivalent circuit is equal to 2R. So finally, what we will have? We will have that the current that is flowing through this particular socket will be 1/4 of I2. So finally, we'll have V reference by 4 the circuit. So this is the way the R to R ladder circuit is working. Applications of DAC includes, it can be used in audio amplifier where we need to convert the audio signal, that is to amplify the audio signal. We need to convert the digital data into analog, and then we can give it to the amplifier. Video encoder, wherever we need to encode the video, we need to convert the digital data into analog, then the video signal can be encoded. In display electronics, where the 7-segment displays are there, we need to convert the digital data into analog, and then we can proceed it to the display devices like CRO. In data acquisition systems, we need to convert digital data into analog if we have to give it to the scanners, or if we have to give it to the recorders, then we need to convert that data into analog. The calibration part, we needed to convert digital data into analog. in motor control, in data distribution systems, and many more applications are there where we require digital conversion of the data into analog. So this is it from this particular point, DAC and ADC, from your industrial instrumentation paper. So if you have any queries, you can ask